Nearing the main balcony of Twilight's castle, Rainbow groaned as a bit of oncoming wind pushed her floof up against her neck, slightly changing her approach. She smoothed it down with a hoof, then landed just mere feet from the small door that led into her friend's bedroom. She had spent the past week locked inside her house due to her little floofy problem that affected her ease of motion while flying, and she felt she had spent enough time bumming about. She had to find a solution, and soon, for it was getting worse and worse each day. Rainbow peered into Twilight's bedroom, cupped her front hooves around the glass to help spot her friend.
Ah, there she is.
She tapped on the glass, making Twilight look up from her book.
Can I come in?
She asked, a light breeze sending a shiver down her back.
Kinda cold out here.
She said with a sheepish grin.
Of course.
Twilight pushed herself off the bed and unlocked the door with a quick spell. She stood aside and gestured for her to come in.
Where have you been? You missed Pinky's little get-together a few days ago.
Noticing something odd in her peripheral vision, she glanced down at Rainbow's breast, her eyes lighting up with glee.
Oh my gosh! How'd you get that much floof?
She asked, taking a couple steps towards her to get a better look.
I think it's that body wash I got a few weeks back. I just might have misread a word or two on the label.
She said, rubbing her foreleg with a hoof. Rainbow sat down, placing her forelegs between her hind legs like usual, only to have her fluff become even fluffier. With a shake of her head, she asked,
Twilight, how can I get this extra fur to go away?
She huffed as she tried to smooth it down.
It's never been this bad before. It's making it harder to fly. Hold on a second here.
Twilight leaned in close and poked Rainbow's floof with a hoof a few times, admiring its softness and density.
So, you tried a new body wash, and then this happened? None of the other fur on your body became like this?
She asked, having its weight in her hoof. Twilight glanced down, looking at the pitiful amount of floof on her own breast, wishing she had at least half as much floof as Rainbow.
Yeah, I've been working on a new trick lately, but most of the time I end up crashing. The fur here!
She paused as he drew a circle around her floof.
It's always the dirtiest. My old body wash would only get most of the dirt out of my coat, so I bought some more powerful stuff. Can I take it that you used a ton of the new body wash right on your breasts? To clean all the dirt from that area? Yeah? So?
Rainbow's breath caught in her throat as her nostrils flared for a split second.
Wait, do you think my body is starting to grow extra fur because my breast is always taking the brunt of my impacts? You know, as a sort of cushioning or something?
Twilight covered her mouth with a hoof as she fought to keep herself from giggling, shaking her head from side to side.
It's a light green bottle with an orange cap on it, right?
She asked, knowing exactly what Rainbow was speaking of.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Rainbow cocked her head to the side as her eyes narrowed.
Because I have the same bottle.
Twilight admitted with a giggle.
It's meant to make your winter coat thicker to help keep you warm, Dash. It's not a normal body wash. Oh.
Rainbow flicked her mane out of her eyes and wilted in place as the stark realization finally dawned on her.
Think before you speak next time, Featherbrain.
She cleared her throat, then asked,
I have a lot of floof because I used a lot of the new body wash there, right?
Twilight nodded as her tail swished around behind her. She dropped her hoof and glanced at the bed.
You know, us mares usually buy that bottle for a very special reason.
She said, her ears flicking back as she idly drew random shapes into the carpet with the tip of her hoof. Rainbow sighed.
What do you mean? I'm actually surprised that you aren't aware of this, but...
Twilight's mouth went dry. She glanced over her shoulder to make sure the door was shut tight, but still lowered her voice all the same.
Mares usually buy it to help, attract mates?
She squeaked out. Rainbow's eyes went wide.
You're joking, right?
Twilight shook her head.
How can this attract any pony?
She asked, once more gesturing at the excessive amount of fluff on her breast.
'Cause it's working on me?
Twilight thought, her eyes locking on Rainbow's fluff. She fluffed her wings as she bit her bottom lip.
Well, I would love to see what it's like to sleep on it. It's really soft. Almost like a pillow.
She flicked her gaze up to meet Rainbow's.
Do you really think it's such a horrible thing? Some mares would do anything to have floof of that magnitude. I know I would.
She licked her dry lips, wondering if she should take a chance.
Really? Why? Because it helps to keep you warm. It pulls attention towards you. And above all, it makes you look really cute.
Twilight said, speaking before her mind could catch up. Her eyes went wide as she let loose a small eep, her front hooves whipping up to her lips. Her breaths came in short, quick bursts as time slowed down. Rainbow's ears flopped down as she felt her throat grow tight. As her tail swished around behind her, she took a tentative step towards Twilight and asked,
Did you just say that I'm cute?
Twilight nodded, slowly, praying that what she just uttered wouldn't nip her on the flank.
You think this floof makes me look cute?
Rainbow asked as she rubbed the back of her neck. Twilight nodded again.
If I say we can snuggle tonight, would you help me find a way to get rid of this floof tomorrow?
Twilight squeed.
Sure I can. I have scissors downstairs that we can use. But first...
She draped her wing over Rainbow's back and guided her toward the bed, a soft, warm smile on her face. Rainbow hopped on the bed before she could even so much as place a hoof on it, making her smile deepen.
Thanks for this, Rainbow.
She said, glad that her friend was going into this with an open mind.
No problem. Thanks for offering to help me. I knew you'd be able to help.
Rainbow flopped down on Twilight's bed and placed her right front hoof over her left.
I've never snuggled with any pony before.
She said, blushing a little bit.
Gotta remember to buy some scissors. Well, there's a first time for everything.
Twilight said as she settled down next to Rainbow.
I've only ever snuggled with my pillow before, so I know a thing or two about this.
She scooted over until her wings graced against Rainbow's, laid her head down on her friend's forelegs, then incessantly nuzzled Rainbow's floof. Its warmth seeped into her cheek, eliciting a soft sigh of content from her lips. She felt Rainbow shift about, then felt an all-encompassing warmth surround her back and wings as her friend's ultra-soft feathers wrapped around her side.
I know a thing or two about snuggling too.
Rainbow said with a chuckle.
While this might be awesome and whatnot for you, I have nowhere to lay my head. Let me just...
She rolled over onto her side, then let Twilight snuggle back in, unable to keep herself from grinning at Twilight's enthusiasm.
You really like to snuggle, huh?
She asked.
Oh yeah, second only to books.
Twilight said with a giggle, though it was cut short by a yawn forcing itself past her lips. Rainbow's floof was firmly pressed against the back of her head, which she promptly nuzzled again.
Why does your floof have to be so soft and floofy?
She asked, breathlessly.
I don't know.
Rainbow said, as Twilight used her magic to snuff out the candles on her nightstand, plunging the room into near darkness, save for the moonlight streaming in through the windows.
You really think it's nice? I think it's wonderful, Dashi.
Twilight whispered, letting her eyelids drift shut.
And come tomorrow, you might just find that having floof is pretty awesome.
Support me on Patreon. Subscribe and make sure to ring that notification bell to know when I post new content. And please, feel free to join the Lotus Garden. Links in the description. Thanks for listening, and look forward to more. Good night, every pony.